got myself in a bit of a quandary. A good one. Dear Barbara, this is a love at first sniff. And once again, it's the same house, and it's the same line. As you know here, it's Guerlain, and it's from the Arts and Materials line. And it's not easy to get, it's expensive, and so on and so on. I just haven't smelled this one up till now, and I sniffed a lot of them. In this line, and I love 3 of them already. I mean, real love. The Tonka Impériale, the Angélique Noire, and the Cuir Béluga. The Cuir Béluga made by Chanel's Olivier Paul. Where did that cap go? Oh, I forget it. But I got these samples in the past, and I just did not get Bois Armony. Bois Armony. That's Armenian woods. Has to do with paper and incense, and so I got this in a decant trade with a great guy, my friend Jonathan. Jonathan 1970. So let me get into this video. And he sent me some decants, and I was out as I was sniffing, and this was one of the main ones that I was really excited for. Well, there's no question about it. It's a love at first sniff. You know, I've smelled a lot of good ones just recently in this past year, Serge Lutens and all that. And a lot of them, or handfuls of those, were likes or strong likes. But a love at first sniff. The last time this happened was, you know, besides the 3 other arts and materials that I just mentioned, which are right there, and that's it. 3 of them is fine, right? In that form, because that's discontinued and it's hard to get. I just want to be done with it and wear my loves and my likes for a long time. And you know, I got other things that are concerning me right now in life, and you know, and paying the bills is one of them. But Bois Armony hit me like a, I haven't even worn it yet, so I just wore it on my hand with like 1 spray, and you know, no wonder. It's Annick Minardo. It's after Bois d'Argent. She made Bois d'Argent at Dior, and the DNA between the 2 is unmistakable. Unmistakable. All right. The Guerlain has incense at top, and it's gorgeous. It's really, it hits you. And the Dior Bois d'Argent doesn't have incense, but I don't know what it is. I guess maybe the resins, similar to myrrh, and they both have iris, so maybe that's it. But it has that strain that's common to both of them. But I don't even think I like Bois d'Argent as much as this. So I gotta, this coming year, I gotta maybe start doing some looking and see if anybody's selling a bottle of this. So thanks to Jonathan. A couple months ago, I sent him some decants because I heard that he was gonna possibly blind buy some stuff that I had. And then it was going to be very expensive. So I just said, let me just send you a decant so you don't make, you know, you don't go in blind. So I sent him a couple of fragrances that, I think 2 fragrances that I had that was discontinued and very hard to get. And I think it paid off because it affected his decision. And so he said, Bob, I want to send you some decants. So, that's the great thing. So I got his package very recently, and he said, what do you want? I requested this because I just didn't pick this up from eBay, a card sample or a formal sample of that. It's been reformulated, by the way. I'm sure it's still great, but it's been reformulated. I went back to Rudy's video of what art and material line bottles have been reformulated. Tonka Impériale has not. Cuir Béluga has. Angélique Noire has not. So it just has to do with the numbers and letters in the ingredients list, in the formulation code. And he's really good at that. He just looks at them and says, oh, this is missing, or this, So along, John also sent me, which I did request, he's lucky enough to have a bottle of Coromandel EDT. And I think that's the first thing I sniffed. And I'll get to that. I'll try to keep this short. And he just kept on asking us, like, if you haven't seen his channel, and I'm sure most of you have, all right, in our little corner, he's just very popular. But there's a bunch of you out there that watch my channel internationally, and you're pretty quiet, and I appreciate that. I understand. Just maybe you don't know about his channel, but definitely look at every one of his videos on this channel. It's fun, even if you're not a collector. I'm not a collector, but you'll see stuff that'll blow you away. And it's just a great collection. I think it's a privilege for us that he has started making videos, and he shows us his private stuff that you can tell he's fine being in his den and own collection. And whether or whether or not he's a YouTuber. Oh, he sent me this. I mean, this is like original Fahrenheit flavored drink mix or something. Look at this. I'm only kidding. It's a shower douche or shampoo body wash. And I will use this. I'm not one of those people that'll let this hang around forever and let it just collect dust and go bad. So I will use that. Anyway, so that's the main gist of it, is the Bois Armony is, again, a love at first sight. But getting back to what I touched on, the last time this happened, it was with Guerlain again, and it was with Chamad. It was over a year ago, and I had finished collecting for a while. I was going to go on a no-buy, and I have been on a no-buy for the entire year, this past year of 23. And then I got sent in an exchange Chamad Perfume, and it was immediate love at first sniff. And then I hopped on as soon as I could. I had some money, and I bought a bottle off of somewhere, eBay, I think. And it's one of my tops now. It may be my favorite, Chamad Perfume. So that was a love at first sniff, and technically it's almost from that same line in Guerlain. So, like I said, I got these in the past, and none of these were close to loves. Iris Torriefe is a like. I like this, but not enough for a bottle. I think a little feminine for me. And I've talked about this. I like it. I wish Delphine Jelk had the talent of, excuse me, of Annick Bernardo, and then Guerlain would have it made. They would have a spokesperson as perfect as a Guerlain spokesperson as Delphine Jelk with the talent of Annick Bernardo. So, incense at the top, smoky, and it's spicy the way I like it. There's pepper in here, and I looked, and it turns out to be pink pepper, which I like a lot. And the other one, it smells like a pantry or spice rack, and it's coriander. I tend to like coriander in the spice accords. So that's what, and then it's iris and resins, right? And then this Bois d'Argent is myrrh, right? And it's very hard to describe. Billowy, cloudy. So, but add incense and a little sweetness to this on top, and that's how I'm describing Bois d'Armony in the initial phase right now. I haven't even worn it. I just sprayed and sniffed it. I don't even want to spray this right now because I'm gonna go wash up, and I'm not ready to put on a fragrance for the day. So I did a little bit of research, and it looks, I'll take 100 ml present formulation and presentation of this from Guerlain right now, and probably the price is better than finding one of these bottles where it might have originally come out in, or even before this it was out with the bulb sprayer. But that's a little impractical because it goes away. It evaporates. So we'll see how the hunt for Bois d'Armony goes. Then I've sprayed the other ones. Iquitos is great. I'm glad I finally got to smell it. It smells just for a very it's a very pretty fragrance for a man. Definitely right down the middle, unisex. But and the florals, and it's powdery, and it does remind me of a Dior. What is it? Poison. It reminds me of one of the Poisons. So I remember hearing that over the last 3-4 years. Love it, like it a lot. Iquitos, but something like that, you just gotta get lucky and come upon a bottle. And then he sent me, because I saw in one of his videos, his latest videos, he had Yuqawam from Rasasi, and I've always liked Tuscan leather. It's just not my personality and not to wear out here. But Tuscan leather is a classic. I mean, the stuff that you would get in the bottle at Tom Ford 6 years ago, 5 years ago, max. The stuff now, I'm convinced Tom Ford is just a poor example of continuity. But La Yuqawam, I've always heard, is as good or maybe even better. Deep, rich leather with berries, with raspberries, sweet. I always thought it, I always think of Harry Potter and the library and the books that he's in, the ancient 1,000-year-old library. And that's Tuscan leather, or La Yuqawam, and I finally smelled it. I would get I wish I got a bottle of that 5, 6 years, 7 years ago. When I first started, I should have just jumped on it and got it, but even though it's probably even difficult getting the Rasasi now. So on to the Chanel, and this is the Chanel right here. He's lucky enough to have an EDT. I have the EDP of Coromandel, and this is going to be fun to wear and compare. I live for this. I live for this. And I did a quick spray on cards yesterday, not even 24 hours ago. I can't come to any conclusion right off the bat. The top smelled a little bit different, maybe more rich in John's, maybe because of age, but, and then as it dried down, I couldn't tell you the difference. But here's one thing I can quantify right now, and still, I sprayed from my big bottle as exclusives, like a full spray or like a half or 3/4 of a spray on this, so that's big, right? And so here's an atomizer, and I sprayed just one full thing of this. It wasn't even charged. So I primed it, and I blasted it. But, you know, it's not that big compared to the bottle, right? This, the EDT of John's decant smells stronger and more evident than almost the full blast from my bottle yesterday. And we're going on like 20 hours. So this smells more faint than this. Now, you can't go exactly by that because maybe I didn't spray as much compared to this, but they should be equal. And especially this is from an atomizer and this is from the bottle. The bottle should be blasted more liquid. So this is fading away a lot, and this is strong. It seems more thicker or richer, and again, it's from the small atomizer. So that's one thing I could say so far. But with Coromandel, I know it well. It's not going to be from smelling off of cards and stuff like that. It's going to be from wearing, because I'm just so familiar with it. So spraying it and forgetting it, and then letting it come to me, letting it come to my nose and brain, and saying, oh, well, I can't tell the difference, or, oh, well, that's something that's different. The only thing I could find in on the descriptions is one site, Fragrantica, lists the EDT, the original EDT that come out much earlier. They switched over to the EDPs in 2016, but this Coromandel came out by Poles and Sheldrake in 2007. They list vanilla, and then I should have brought my Coromandel bottle out, but in the EDP, excuse me, Coromandel doesn't list vanilla in its base. Then I went over to Perfumo. I like that site. Perfumo lists vanilla in the base of both of them. So let it be a wash. It's probably not an issue. There probably is traces of vanilla in both of them. But Fragrantica didn't list vanilla in the EDP Coromandel. So that's what I'm really excited about. So I don't think I see a bottle of EDT Coromandel in my future, but I just like to investigate and know when it has to do with my favorites, my favorite houses like Chanel, Dior, and Guerlain. But once again, this has definitely lit a fire under me, and now I have one serious bottle to put on my wish list for this year coming up. Like I said, I'm really happy with what I have so far, and I don't want to go down rabbit holes. I'm just the opposite. I just want to spend lots of time wearing what I like and what I love in my life, because I know this is an infinite loop. There's tons out there to investigate, but if you're constantly spraying and sampling, it's just math. You're gonna have no time wearing stuff, and wearing stuff that you love, and getting to know it more. It has to do with everything in life. So I choose to not be a sampler. I got to be in a specific mood when I get into my samples, because once you spray samples, whether it's 1 or 3 or 5 on your body, you're done. You can't wear a scent of the day. You can't. So that scratches that out, or that half a day, or that end of the day. So, and then wearing a perfume all day for your scent of the day, it's special. You get to know it from beginning to end. And that's why I like talking to regular perfume enthusiasts that are really, they're not frag heads. They just are lovers of their own perfume, whether it be 1 or 10, but they really know it, right? They really know it, and they're not collectors of a lot, and maybe they're not in the active fragrance community, because that one perfume, she really knows it because she's wearing it all the time. So yeah, so it hits me again, the lightning bolt, and once again it's another Guerlain out of the Arts and Material line. So that's my big deal. Let me know if you, and I've said this before in other videos, let me know if you have lately sniffed any loves at first sniff. I mean, boom, you know it's you and you want a bottle. So if my thoughts, I'm going to talk more about this, but if my thoughts change, I'll say it. But this is great. It's me. That's another thing. You can love perfumes, but it's not really your kind of wear. Just like clothes or shoes, you can appreciate something. It's like, wow, that's awesome. But I can't do that. It's just not, I can't wear that. But these Guerlains, a bunch of them, and including Chamade, they're totally me. Like some Chanel's are me. So like Chanel Pour Monsieur from 30 years ago that I wore, but taken to another level of interest, and just a product of time, knowing and wearing. So Bois Armony, I think everyone out there listening knows more about this than me, has smelt it, but I'm just late to the game on this. But you know, it's probably for a reason. So there it is. Love at first sniff. Once again, it's a privilege, all right? Maybe some of you out there have never experienced it, but most of you probably have. But it definitely is true, and it might change over time. You don't love it anymore, but let me know your example is. So I'm glad I put this video on record just for my own personal diary of fragrance journey in life. So that's my main purpose. And it's running along again, but I appreciate you watching and listening. My name is Bob, and I'll come at you later with some more fragrance chat. I got some issues now. I don't want to get one of those bottles with a bulb attached to it, but maybe it's going to happen. Well, those are crazy prices. I bet I'll end up with a bottle of the new presentation in the 100 mils, and hopefully people will be unloading them on the internet. So that's my shtick. I'll check in later. Go check out John's videos. Watch every one of them. I guarantee you'll like it, and there's stuff that you'll be blown away with, such as Fahrenheit drink mix. Dip.